Hello, everyone. Welcome back from Thanksgiving long weekend holiday. Hopefully, everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving in your community or somewhere else. Hopefully, you spent lots of time with your friends, family, ate a lot of food, and had a bit of time to rest and all that. It is currently 9:02 p.m. Central Time in Silicon. It is time for PLAR History and Geography. We're live right now in Silico at WASA. Again, this is term 1A. We are currently at week number 6 in the term. Week 6, reminder there are 9 weeks in this term, so we're at week number 6, which means that there are 3 more weeks after this week. So this is week number 6, term 1A. Again, this is PLAR History, Geography. And again, my name is Jonathan, and I am your teacher for this course. Again, if you want to listen, participate, ask questions, or need any help, just call the WASA Studio when we're live in class. Again, give me a shout during my office hours on my phone. Cell on evenings and weekends, my email, Facebook, and all that. So again, many ways to get a hold of me if you have any questions or need any difficulties. Again, please continue to work on your assignments. And again, I know that a lot of people are at different stages. But again, just continue to work on your assignments. And I do understand that there's lots of things going on in communities up north. I think right now it's officially hunting week. I know that some students, or most students, or even all students over at Pelican Falls have gone home for this week, I believe, for hunting week, from what I heard. But again, don't be discouraged. Continue to work on assignments and get them to me as soon as you can so that I can mark it. So last week we have wrapped up the history portion of this course. So we wrapped up history, which means that today and for the rest of this term, we will be discussing and looking at geography. Okay, geography. So no more history, but you can still ask questions in regards to history, but we are focusing on geography. So again, I just want to quickly remind everyone again that you do need your textbook. Okay, we'll be starting lesson number 4 today. So lesson 4 and lesson 5 is geography. So same textbook and same workbook. Again, your workbook has all the questions for your assignments. Again, we're looking on lesson 4 and lesson number 5. Again, please log on to Smart Bridget. That way, another way you can engage in class as well. Again, just a reminder for all, if you want a USB stick with all the lessons, just let me know, and I can do that absolutely for free and send it off on the Express. So before we look at geography, again, there are 8 assignments that yes, you class and students, that you will be needing to complete for this half of the course. So geography contains assignment 9 to 16. Again, we'll be looking at various topics throughout and for the remainder of this term. We'll be focused on human geography for lesson 4, and then we'll be switching gears and looking at physical geography for lesson number 5. Okay, but again, when we're looking at geography, we're going to cover a lot of main topics, economics, or economic geography. We'll be looking at some resource management strategies, conservation, Canadian landscape, global warming, climate change, just to name a few. Okay, so a lot of things that we'll be discussing for the remainder of this term.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Excellent. I noticed that we got Fort Hope.
Yeah, it's Isabel.
Isabel, how are you tonight?
Doing alright.
Doing all right. Did you have a good Thanksgiving long weekend?
Yeah, I did.
Did? Are you guys currently on hunting week right now?
Um, hunting season.
That was hunting season. Wow, okay. My
Yeah.
apology. How long is hunting season? Like,
From end of September, I think. Or I mean, middle of September till I don't know how long.
oh wow, long stretch. Excellent.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thanks so much, Isabel, for calling in. Are you at the learning center or are you at home right now?
I'm at home.
You're at home? Perfect. Um,
Okay.
just let you know where we're at, Isabel. We're starting lesson number 4 today. Looking at the geography half of the course. But before I do that, and since you're online right now, do you have any questions in regards to your assignments? Do you need help with anything?
No. Well, it's pretty much straightforward.
Okay.
All your lessons right there, so I
Lesson 3,
I
you
just
said?
have a hard time putting them into my own words, and
Okay. Um,
so
Again,
I'm getting there.
don't overthink it. Again, all the answers are in the textbook.
Yeah.
What I mean by putting it into your own words is just trying to rephrase it. As long as you're not copying straight from the textbook, word for word, paragraph from paragraph. But again, all the answers are there. Feel free to use it, but don't overthink it as well. Okay?
Yeah.
But again, I was looking for full, complete sentences with details. Make sure your answer is what is being asked. Again, if you're not sure, or if you're not sure if you're on the right track, or if you don't really understand the question, just let me know. You can find me here on Tuesdays and Thursdays live in class, and you can also find me on Facebook as well, since I do have you as a friend.
Yeah.
Okay?
All
But you're
right.
still working on lesson 1, assignment 3, you said?
I am on. Yeah, I'm still working on lesson 1.
Lesson 1, okay.
I think I'm almost finished.
Okay,
I'm gonna
that's
send it
great.
in.
Yeah, again, there's no official due date as terms of when you need to do all your assignments, but again, uh, keen to work on it. The sooner the better, of course. Understand that we all have other priorities and other commitments and could be working on other courses, which is fine too. But again, just don't be discouraged. Just continue to chip away at each assignment. Again, if you need help, let me know. I'm here to help. And then that way you can write your tests and then you can move on to other courses as well. Okay there, Isabel?
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah, continue to stay online. Again, if any more questions, let me know. But we are going to start looking at geography, lesson number 4. So again, if you want to fast track or look at that notes, feel free. Or you can still work on lesson number 1. The choice is yours. But for everyone's sake and rest of class, I'm just going to continue looking at our lecture. But again, if anyone has class, whether it's Isabel or anyone else, just let me know. I'm here to help. Okay? All right, so class. Again, this is PLAR History and Geography. Again, this is one course, but we're looking at 2 different academic discipline or subjects, and we're putting it into one. So we're looking at the social studies. Okay, so social studies component of PLAR. So we have wrapped up history, but now we're going to look at geography. You will see some overlapping when we look at and discuss and explore geography, as these 2 disciplines in regards to social studies kind of relate and connect to one another. So I have pointed out 5 different points to demonstrate how they kind of relate to one another. So 1, history and geography helps us to understand time. 2, history and geography helps us to understand the cause and effect. 3, help us to understand what continues and what changes. 4, help us to recognize and participate in a common memory. And 5, history and geography helps us to develop historical empathy, understanding, and sharing feelings. So again, very similar when we look at history and geography. So just keep that in mind that you will see some overlapping topics. Some topics will be going into greater details, but again, social studies regards to PLAR. So geography, lesson number 4, we're focusing on human geography for lesson number 4. Okay, so human geography. So that is our main focus for this lesson. And this starts on page 28. Okay. Again, if you have your textbook, this all starts on page 28. So again, feel free to open up your textbook. Feel free to follow along. All the subheadings are there in capital letters in bolds. Keywords are highlighted again. So again, it's all in our textbook. So this is again geography, human geography, page 28, lesson number 4. That's our goal for today. So let's get to our learning goals. So you know, students, what you will be learning and understanding and achieving after this lesson or after this class. So again, after lesson number 4, students were able to describe some human, political, and cultural branches of geography. Students be able to know how they relate themselves to the land and to other people in regards to geography with economics, urbanism, and militarism. Now, today, we're going to be looking at human geography, like I already mentioned. And what that is, we will define it. Something that I do want to point out is that in geography, there are tons of definition. Okay, so just keep that in mind. A lot of definitions that you would need to classify, explain, and state their definition. So we'll talk about human geography in very briefly. We'll also be looking at economic geography. Again, we'll define that. Talk about some key aspects in regards to that. We'll be looking at NAFTA again in greater details in regards to the pros and cons, the benefits and the controversies in regards to NAFTA. And lastly, we'll be looking at human rights. And then we'll be looking at assignment number 9. Okay, so that's what we have in store for tonight. Again, a lot of definitions. We'll explain what human geography is, economic geography, look at NAFTA, its pros and cons, its benefits and controversies, and human rights, which we kind of already discussed already in a way. Okay, and then if you have time, and then feel free to ask questions, feel free to work on assignments. If you need any help, just let me know. Alrighty? Cool. Let's begin. We shall begin. Human geography. Again, this starts on the very top of page 28. Okay, so I put a little star beside it. Again, page 28. You'll see this definition pop up again on assignment number 9. So what is human geography? I think I said it so many times already. Again, if I repeat things over and over again, that just means that it is significant and you will see it again, especially on your assignments and even on your test/exam. So, human geography, as it states in your textbook on the very first line, is the human, political, and cultural branch when looking at geography. Okay, the human, political, and cultural branch when looking at geography. So looking at geography in regards to the political side, in regards into the cultural side as well. Human geography also focuses on how humans adapt themselves to the land, to other people, and even the environment. Okay, so think about how people adapt themselves to the land that we live on, to other people, could be in the same country or different countries or different regions around the world, and the environment. Okay, so in other words, think about space, place, land, and people, how it all relates, interconnect with one another. Okay, space, place, land, and people. Not our space, but the space and the land that we live on, place, different towns, city, communities, the land that we live on, and the people. Okay, so that's human geography. Okay, the political cultural branch focus on how humans adapt themselves to the land, other people, and the environment. Okay, then the environment. Again, note that definition. You will see it come up again. But we're going to focus on three subsections in regards to human geography. Okay, so we're going to kind of divide this lesson into three subsections. And I have them on my screen. And it says one, economics, which is what we'll be looking at today. Then on Thursday, we'll be looking at urbanism. And then we'll also be looking at military on Thursday as well. Okay, so again, economics, urbanism, and military or militarism all relates to human geography. Okay, again, there's other aspects that relates to human geography as well: globalization, the population, other factors, nationalism, and all that. But we're going to focus on three subsections. Okay, economics, urbanism, and military. Okay, so I want to save urbanism and military for next class on Thursday, but our focus today will be on economics, okay, or economic geography. So again, economics, that's what we'll focus on. So next few topics that we'll be discussing relates to economics or economic geography, which is a little subdivision or sub-branch in regards to human geography. So economics. So what is economic geography? Again, more definitions, okay, class? More definitions. Okay. Note the definitions. You will see them again on your assignments. So again, this is on page 28 as well. Economic geography. Alright, economic geography is the study of the widely varying economic conditions across the earth. Okay, different economic conditions across the earth. It can be influenced by so many different factors, not just these three that I have in your textbook or on my screen, but it could be other factors as well. So economic geography can be influenced by one, climate. Okay, so depending on where you live around the world, climate impacts economics. How? Based on natural resources that particular area or community can grow, agriculture, forestry, and all of this to productivity. So again, think about if a warmer climate country or region, they can grow more agriculture, vegetation, which leads to more productivity, more food, more crops. Okay, so depending on where we live around the world or in the countries or different regions, that impacts economics based on what we have, what we don't have, resources, materials. If we don't have it, then we want it, then we need to get it from other factors or countries or regions. But again, climate is a factor as well. What we can grow, what we can't grow, what activities we can do, what we can't do, stuff like that. So climate is one factor. Geology, the study of rocks or the study of land formation. So again, depending on where we live around the world, different land form takes place. So it could be we're living by a lake, we have mountains, we have hills, we have good soil to grow, don't have good soil to grow. that plays a factor as well. Okay, is it more urban? Is it more rural? Is it a First Nations community? All those factors come into play as well. And lastly, number 3, social political factors. Again, how the government, political factors based on the needs and wants of others that come into play as well. So again, economics is all about materials, products, and sales. What we want, what we don't have, how we get it, how can we improve our countries based on materials, products, and sales. Okay, so that's economic geography. For example, more developed countries have a better economics or have a better economy based on trades. So, for example, here in Canada, since Canada is a more developed countries, we have better economics, we have better trades, and all those factors come into play as well. Okay, again, economics geography, page 28 in your textbook. Okay. The next definition that we are going to look at is trade surplus. Okay, the trade surplus. Again, more definitions, more definitions. You'll see this again on assignment 8, trade surplus, and it is on page 28 as well. Okay, look for that bolded word, trade surplus, on 28. Okay. Again, more definitions. So let's define what trade surplus is. So trade surplus is when a country has more goods to export to another country than goods to import. Okay? So when a country has more goods to give away to another countries than receive from other countries. Okay, the amount by which the value of the country's exports exceeds the cost of its import. Okay, so 2 key words that are in that definition, so import and export. So import can simply mean we are receiving or we are getting something. Okay. And export can be referred to as given away, something that's going away. Okay, so import is coming in and export is going out. Okay, so in other words, going back to our definition of trade surplus, a country with more goods to give away to another country more than goods to import. Okay, so we have more items to give away to other countries. So the United States could be example, Canada could be examples. A country with more goods to give away to another countries than we need. Okay, the amount by which the value of a country's export exceeds the cost of its import. Okay, so again, trade surplus. To see that definition arise again, make note of that. Import and export. So in other words, for example, say Canada has a lot of lumber, so we can give away some lumber to other countries that doesn't have a lot of lumber. But then again, for example, Canada doesn't need much because we already have it in our countries, or we already produce the items or materials that we need. So trade surplus. Are there any questions so far in regards to those 3 definitions that we described? Human geography, economic geography, and trade surplus.
I'm good. I'm understanding.
You understand? Ah, excellent. Good stuff.
Mhm.
Again, all these materials are in your textbook. Again, look for the highlighted bold words. It's all there. Again, I'm just adding and integrating a bit more content, giving the class more examples. Hopefully that helps understand. But again, all in your textbook as well. You can also research and Google, use other resources as well. Okay, don't just think about that you have to stick to our class and our textbook. Again, feel free to expand, use your technology, Google something if you're not sure, stuff like that, okay? Resources are endless out there. Next, I'm going to talk about NAFTA. NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. Again, we already talked about this a bit in regards to the history portion of this course. But again, we're going to dive even deeper and look at NAFTA. Okay, so North American Free Trade Agreement. I think we all know what that stands for. Again, it was signed on January 1st, 1994. Again, NAFTA includes Canada, the United States, and Mexico. Okay, don't forget about that, Mexico. Okay, not just Canada, United States, but Mexico as well. Okay, North America, Canada, United States, and Mexico. Again, it's basically a free trade agreement between these three countries, where these three countries would not have to pay additional taxes when selling or trading goods back and forth. Okay, so removal as many taxes as possible on goods. Again, nobody wants to pay additional tax or extra money in general, I should say. So by getting these items back and forth from other countries can be seen as a benefit. Again, but nobody wants to pay extra money or extra taxes. Okay, so again, note the year 1994, Canada, United States, trade between other countries without taxes, or the removal as much or as many taxes as possible on goods. Okay, NAFTA. Again, we already all know that. We already all discussed who are involved in NAFTA, what its goal and its purpose, but we're gonna dive a little deeper and look at NAFTA. Okay, we're gonna dive a little bit deeper. So we're gonna talk about the pros and cons of NAFTA. So the good or the bad side of NAFTA. Again, some people like it, some people don't. There are factors, there are reasons to support it, but we're always going to start with the positive and look at the good. So, pretty self-explanatory in regards to NAFTA, in regards to its benefits and the good side. Okay, so again, class, note NAFTA and some of its benefits and its goods. Okay, again, details. So, restrictions on tariffs are removed. In other words, taxes are removed. But what kind of taxes are removed? What kind of items that we can trade back and forth? Well, cars, motor vehicles, automotive parts, computers, textiles, clothing, fabric, and agriculture can be traded back and forth without paying additional taxes. Okay, so cars, automotive parts, computers, textiles, and agriculture, just to name a few. Okay, just some examples that we can trade back and forth without paying additional taxes. In addition, protection on property rights, trademarks, and copyrights. So again, you cannot resell or change the name of a company or an item So we cannot just take Apple and iPhone and trade it to other countries and change its name and all that. So that protects that right. Okay, so protects property rights, trademarks, and copyrights. Again, this is all great because now we can get other items from different countries like United States and Mexico here in Canada, and that leads to economic growth. Okay, we always want more items, more goods, and more items that make us happy in terms of the way we live, etc. And it increases the standard of living. Okay, everyone's happy, they get what they want based on sales, materials, and productivity. Okay, so again, a lot of benefits, not just not paying tax, but note what it protects, what items can be traded without paying taxes. So that's NAFTA, the positive side, the good side, and the benefits towards NAFTA. But on the other hand, the other side of the spectrum, we're going to look at NAFTA and its controversies. Okay, controversies simply means disputes, non-agreement, people don't see eye to eye, not necessarily the bad, but the controversies. Okay, again, all the controversies in regards to NAFTA begins on page 30 and 31. Okay, so note the controversy in regards to NAFTA. I have summarized on my screen what page 30 and page 31 outlines in regards to the controversies relating to NAFTA. Again, there can be more examples, but these are just to name a few. So Canada and the United States oppose NAFTA in a way because they fear jobs will be moved to Mexico due to lower wages. So a lot of jobs in Canada and the United States are being shipped off and moved to Mexico so that we can pay workers in Mexico cheaper to produce the same product. Other controversies are politicians, policy experts, economics believe that a lot of jobs from the United States will be moved into Canada. Okay, so influence from the United States. Farmers in Mexico oppose this because they have to pay our agricultural subsidies. Detrimental on economic impacts based on health and their environment. Property raised in Mexico by lots. Wages dropped by lots, 20%. And there are fears that United States and Mexico have increased on illegal immigrants. So again, just some factors where Canada, United States, and Mexico have different viewpoints. A lot of people fear that jobs will be moved away from Canada and that a lot of American companies will be moved into Canada. But a lot of it mainly goes towards jobs going towards Mexico, pay them cheaper to produce the same items. So again, the controversies of NAFTA. Again, that's on page 30 and page 31. You can read all that section. But again, it just outlines some of the controversies in regards to NAFTA. Another controversy in regards to NAFTA is something known as Chapter 11. So Chapter 11 in regards to the clause in NAFTA can be seen as a controversy. So what Chapter 11 states is basically the bankruptcy clause in regard to NAFTA. So basically it states that, and it allows corporations to sue the federal government if they feel a regulation or a government decision affects their investment. So a company can basically sue the government if they feel a regulation or a law by the government affects their investment. Because of this clause in Chapter 11, government are scared to pass environmental regulations because a lot of environmental regulations have impacts on sales and items and productivity. So, for example, a Canadian company called Methodex sued the United States, claiming that a California banned a substance or banned Methodex in their water system, which hurt their cells. In other words, the United States banned this item or the substance in regards to that it hurt or impacted the cells from this Canadian company. Okay, that kind of make sense? So a Canadian company sued the United States because it infringed upon them selling items in California where California banned this substance in their water system. Okay, and again, that relates back to environmental regulations. That's why Chapter 11 is a controversy because it, in a way, impacts trades, items, sales, back and forth. Okay, there's more examples that's given in your textbook on page 31 in regards to Chapter 11, otherwise known as the bankruptcy clause or another controversies in regards to NAFTA. Okay, so again, class, you don't need to know all these details, just note the sum. Okay, I don't expect everyone to know exactly all the details, all the benefits, and all the controversies. Okay, that's not the goal of why we're doing this lecture. Okay, there's no sum. Okay, just know some. And the main point that I really want to emphasize is that students in class really work on improving their literacy skills. Again, that's not just how we read and write and oral communication skills, but it's more than that. It's all about a balanced literacy. But again, it's not always about the content, but what I'm mainly looking for is how you improve as a writer, improve as a reader, and how you articulate your answers on paper, and how you write in full complete sentences, and how you explain your thought and answers. That's the main goal that we're looking for. That's what I'm looking for when I'm looking at your assignments. Okay. So again, don't feel overwhelmed that need to know every single definition word by word off your heart and all that. Again, just know some, just know the general understanding of each one. Lastly, we're gonna look at economic geography and trades in regards to human rights. Again, we talk lots about human rights and what it is and how it evolved after the Second World War in regards to the Declaration of Human Rights, how Canada adopted that based on the Bill of Rights in 1958 or so, and how that evolved into what we know as today as the Charter of Rights and Freedoms that was adopted in 1982, which is entrenched into the Canadian Constitution. So again, I think we all have a basic understanding of human rights, but again, human rights on page 33 at the very top states this. Human rights can be the right to freedom, the right to earn a fair wage, regardless of your gender and all the factors. So male, female, girls, boys should have the right to earn the same wages regardless of the job. Have the right to move around in the country or in the community or different communities. Freedom to speech. Okay. Everyone has a voice. Everyone's entitled to a voice. And we should all be active listeners. Because this is an inclusive learning environment. Religion, same thing. Everyone has the right to their own religion, as long as it doesn't infringe upon anyone else. But we all have different religion, different culture, different beliefs that we follow by and live by. And simple, but protection from danger. Okay. Other can be, freedom, trust, justice, what is fair, what is unfair, love, the rule of law. I'll treat you the same as what you treat me, something like that. Okay, treat others how you want to be treated. And there we go. That's the rule of law. Okay, treat other the way you want to be treated. No one's above the law. Peace. Okay, show respect to other. Prosperity, dignity, and equality, and even equity as well. Okay, again, just some values of human rights. Again, you don't need to know all of them, but just know the basic general understanding. So what we're trying to get in regards to human rights and how it relates to what we talked about today in regards to geography, human geography and economic geography, is that we want to be trading items and goods and materials with other countries that promote the same human rights. Okay? Human rights means people have the right to freedom, earn a free wage, all that, but many Canadians believe that we should not trade with other countries that violates human rights, and that should only trade with countries that promotes human right policies for the well-being of all citizens. Okay, so again, we don't want to promote non-human rights factors. So again, we want to promote it, uh, influence it, and trade with other countries, have better relationship with other countries that have the same core values in regards to human rights. Alrighty.
Yep.
Perfect. So that pretty much wrap things up. I'm gonna quickly go over assignment number 9 questions, and then if anyone has questions or need any help, that's the time to do so. Okay. So again, in your workbook, class and students, geography. Okay, geography assignment number 9. Again, note that some assignments are longer and some assignments are super short, as you'll see coming up. But assignment 9 is of 18 marks. Okay, 18 marks. Question number 1. Again, feel free to do these questions as we go over them. Again, nothing is hard, nothing is surprising. Name the 3 main topics in human geography. Okay, name the 3 main topics or subsections of human geography that we have discussed or will be discussing. Okay, so we already talked about 1 today. Okay, that's economics. We know that, so there you go. That's 1. And what are the other 2? Okay, we'll discuss the other 2 next class, but what are the other 2? Okay, again, you can all find that on page 28. Okay, page 28. Okay, so economics is 1. What are the other 2? It's on the first slide that we have discussed today.
Urbanism and military.
Perfect. Look at that. Good stuff. Okay, so there you go. Isabel just said it. So economics is 1, urbanism and militarism. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 3 marks right there. Okay, so Isabel, when you do assignment number 9, or if you're doing assignment number 9, you can just write that down. Okay, economics, urbanism, militarism, all that. Good stuff. Well done, Isabel. So question number 2 asks, what is economic geography? Okay, if you don't remember, that's okay. Go back, look at our lessons, or you can go back and look at your textbook. Okay, so what is economic geography? Okay, so a definition, full complete sentences. Economic geography is this. It's a study of this. It looks at this. Okay, so what is economic geography? Again, full complete sentences, 2 marks. Again, that is all on page 28 as well. Okay, economic geography. Pretty straightforward. Question number 3. What is a trade surplus? Again, more definitions. We talked about it in today's class. What is a trade surplus? Okay, trade surplus. Again, 2 marks. Define it. The definition we talked about in class. Again, it is also on, or in your textbook, I should say, page 28 as well. Okay. Again, look for that bold word where it says trade surplus. Read it. Go over it. What is that definition? What is a trade surplus? Question number 4. What does NAFTA stand for? Okay, so use those letters. What does NAFTA stand for? Again, North American Free Trade Agreement. When was it initiated? In other words, what year was it signed? And what countries are a part of this agreement? Okay, Canada, United States, and Mexico. Okay, what year? 1994. Okay, again, a mark each. A mark for telling me what NAFTA stands for, when was it signed, and the 3 countries that are a part of it. Okay, again, I think everyone knows that. Again, those are basically 3 free marks, right? Just like that. Okay. Question number 5. Why did these 3 countries want this agreement? What were the benefits supposed to be? In other words, what are the benefits of NAFTA? What was the purpose of NAFTA in a way? And what were the benefits? Okay, so look at the benefits. And why did they want this agreement? Okay, what is the goal of NAFTA? Free trade. But what kind of benefits came out of it? Okay. So benefits are on page 29 in our textbook. Okay. Don't have to give all of them, but just note some of the benefits of NAFTA. Next questions. There have been many controversies since NAFTA took effect. Provide 3 details about 3 of these controversies. Again, there are tons. I gave the class maybe like 5 or 6 different controversies. Again, chapter 11 is one example. But again, note 3 different controversies in regards to NAFTA. Again, page 30 and page 31. Okay, pick 3. Use a textbook. Use a class lecture notes. Note 3 different controversies. And finally, the last questions. What is human rights? What are human rights? Again, definition, define it. Give some examples of human rights. Give me 1 or 2 examples of human rights. What are they? Again, page 33. Okay. And that right there, class, is assignment number 9. First assignment for geography. Again, straightforward, just a lot of definitions. And this theme of a lot of definitions will just continue just the way it is for geography. Again, that's what we'll be looking at as we finish out this course. Okay, so next week on Thursday, we'll continue looking at lesson number 4. We'll wrap things up by looking at human geography, looking at the other 2 sections, urbanism and military. And then next week, we'll start lesson number 5, looking at physical geography. Okay? All right there, class? Any questions you have there, Isabel?
No.
No? Still working on your assignments right now?
Yep.
Did you go hunting?
I'll call when I have a question.
Okay, sounds great.
All right. Bye.
All right, I'll see you later.
Okay.
Excellent. So that was Isabel. So again, thank you, Isabel, for tuning in. Hopefully she'll continue to come to class and she continue to work on assignments. Again, that goes for everyone as well. Okay. I think we're gonna stop it there for tonight. And I think we're gonna pick it up next week. Not next week, but next class on Thursday, sorry, I should say. Okay. Again, in the meantime, continue to work on your history assignments. Again, tend to work on geography assignments. This is PLAR History and Geography here at WASA. Again, my name is Jonathan. I am the teacher for this course. Again, any questions, get a hold of me, and I'll see everyone on Thursday. Thanks so much. Have a good night.